Quaid Azam, Part 131. The constitution which the report recommended was the most radical until then, and though its communal provisions have received greater subsequent attention, its political recommendations were no less controversial. Contributing to the germinating a fresh crop of communal dissensions, the national government envisaged in this report was to be unitary nor federal, with residuary powers to vested in the central government. The predictability became the most unacceptable recommendation, with many opponents and vociferously objecting. In communal sphere, the report commended the abolition of both separate electorates and granting of weightage for minorities. It also rejected the Muslim demand for any reservation for majorities, and of course no sharing of the 33% of the seats at the center. Only the Muslims from the northwest had reasons to be satisfied for both separation of Sindh from Bombay and an equal status for frontier received the committee's recommendations. The all-party conference, the originator of the committee, met thereafter at Lucknow. A week later, on 28 August 1928, to consider the report recognizing Jinnah's absence, the two Nehrus were urged to postpone the conference. They appeared to concede the point without actually doing so. Gracelessly, the conference was postponed by just one day. The Nehrus were not keen to be conciliatory to Jinnah, and all the religious bodies, including the two Sikh organizations, were also excluded. Attendance being kept to just 100, it is not surprising, therefore, that the meeting produced the results that it did. The only murmur of the dissent came from Shaukat Ali over the abolition of reservation for majorities. He broke with Motilal Nehru on this, denounced him for making concessions to Hindu Mahasabha, and he also broke with the Muslims who supported Motilal Nehru. This Shaukat Ali's reputation of the Nehru report was a great embarrassment for the Congress. However, a more serious challenge came from those provincial forces with which the government had banked hopes. Well, these were the separatist policies of Congress. These were the separatist party principles of the majority. And Nehru report is in fact an attempt to strangle the minorities in India. Nehru report in fact is a mechanism to strangle Muslims, the minorities, and to diminish all the great work which was done in the decades. As Quaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was rightly remarked as the Hindu-Muslim ambassador, whatever the great work and the foundation that he had built, it was wiped out by Nehru report. And it in fact laid the foundation of the separation, of course, and made it clear to Quaid Azam and to the others that they won't find any say for Muslims or any of the minorities in Congress party or any of the united platform in India. So the Muslims didn't claim the separation. In fact, they were forced as separatists. In Motilal Nehru's reckoning, despite the somewhat graceless manner of not accommodating Jinnah's convenience when the report was to be finally considered by the full committee, Jinnah still remained the most important factor and the personality still of crucial consequences. If he could be won over, this Nehru report would acquire the needed prestige. but that was not possible for sure.